Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This will be a Divine Feminine support reading. Okay, Divine Feminines right now are coming to terms with their gifts. These might be new gifts that have recently come online. These could be soul gifts that you incarnated with. These could be gifts that you've had since childhood and now you're just acknowledging them, or they're just being reignited. There is something massive here about honoring that all droughts, all flavors of drought in your life has been because of this non-acceptance of what you came here to do. It's a very specific message. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's just the same message over and over and over again from different decks. And reminding you, feminines, that you have your entire lineage behind you. You have all of your ancestors, and not just the ones that you can think back or, your grandmother tells you about, but your ancient lineage, this quantum access through your lineage is the thing that's going to give you your edge. It's the power that you get to tap into. It's your birthright to actually tap into this power. Okay, let's see. You have now reached a critical mass of healing, feminines. You are able to discern accurately, distinguish what your path is. You are organized. You are brilliant in your gifts. You have access to the experiences and the training that you know you need. There's something here about there's no more deluding oneself about truth. You can see what you can do. You could see what you can't do. You could see your own limitations. You could see times in the past where you've lied to yourself or others. You could see your blocks. You could see your shadows. There's something about this spread that feels like total and utter illumination. Nothing escapes this light. So because of that, we're being trusted with being shown all of these different facets of self, facets of the journey. Okay. There's also a message here about spirit has entrusted you. You have become trustworthy enough to hold these callings, these tasks, these divine invitations to caretake these specific things on the planet. Okay, hold on. There's a ton of positive cards in this, so I want to look to the outlier. So the one outlier we have is this self-empowerment card in reverse. And the message there, we have tentative, limited, timid, and drudgery. So 2 words stand out for me: timid, which is in alignment with the feminine, with divine feminine narrative, the long-term narrative, right? Feminine is constantly approaching this concept of worthiness, of what that means, of what are the blocks to worthiness, how to fully integrate and embody this goddess-like, throne-like, regal energy of not just worthiness, but exalted truth, exalted, grounded, higher existence. We also have this angels are watching over you card. Yes, again, this is another part. You have the ancients and you have the angels are watching over. You have such a profound spirit team and soul crew that is open, ready, and willing to help you in any way that you can. You are protected, you are loved, you are supported, you are encouraged. Okay, and then this, let me just pick this up because I can't read it. Shower of prosperity, wealth, opportunities, success, and manifestation. It came out sideways, so I left it that way. So again, there's something here about when you choose not to accept your gifts, when you choose to allow fear to hold you back, it does put a kink in the opportunities that are will be available to you, right? It puts a little mini blockage in your manifestation powers. So there's, again, the only reason I'm sharing this again is more so for impetus for growth, right? We want to know that we have something to look forward to, even when we're in the trenches and may not be able to access that higher interpretation. Okay, let's do this bottom row. Let's see what we got. Okay, this is so dense, guys. This is like really... I just started just receiving the energies. I wasn't even like really looking at the words, and I got an instant headache. So, divine feminines, let's just call it what it is. This is very intense and dense, thick energy. So, we all know, I'm trying to just do this gracefully because this energy is really, I mean, you hear me. I can't even like really talk. Okay, hold on. We all know that wisdom comes at a cost. I honor all of the pain, all of the trials, tribulations, blockages, all of the moments you had to cross, moments of adversity that you've confronted to call your spirit back, all of these moments where you had to break patterns, either for yourself or for your lineage. I honor the trauma that you've trudged through. I honor all of this crap that you have gone through. But let me tell you, all of these cards are speaking to energies that have already moved through these things. They speak to the wounded healer. The fact that you've been able to confront your naked soul and alchemize all of the pain, all of the grief, until you get to truth, right? Until only truth is left standing. By accessing this truth and using your expression, whether that's through your voice or another means, to speak up and speak from your core center, miracles unfold for you. There's something here about how honoring your vulnerability. Celebrate how vulnerable you've been on this journey and that you still take a step forward. I mean, let's just pause right there. Wait, I want to get a card on that. Let's see. Let's get a mermaid card. We have Be Spontaneous and Innocence. Yeah, that's really beautiful. And then we actually have feelings in the unconscious. So going back to this vulnerability, I mean, there's something here that the divine feminine energy is so masterful at. They are so masterful at staying grounded in this innocence, this pristine preciousness, this vulnerability, and being able to access all of the gifts all at the same time. So in this sweetness, in this childlike preciousness, I just keep seeing the word precious. In this childlike preciousness, feminine energy is so good at accessing, goddess power, leader power, caretaking, mothering energy, eldership, or like elder energy, grandmother energy, matriarchal energy. There's something here about these feminines that are so masterful at transmuting in real time and being able to alchemize whatever comes up. And it's funny, the only other outlier in this spread is this self-sabotage card. Let's put it directly in the center. Let's look at this directly in the eye, right? And notice how dark the card is. Notice that, actually, let me look at this card. I'm not sure. Can you tell is she getting swallowed up by like a serpent or something? I mean, I'm staring at this card very close to my face and I still can't discern what that is. But anyway, there's something here, like we're being called, feminines, to look directly at the shadow of our self-sabotage. This is probably the biggest outlier in this entire spread. So the only thing that can take us down a few pegs or pull us from our throne is this theme of self-sabotage. So I'm going to gently ask you, is there something that comes up as you hear me speak about this? Where in your life do you catch yourself self-sabotaging? Is it within your partnership? Is it as a parent? Is it at work? Do you find yourself really knowing your power, but then pulling your power back and hiding it in certain scenarios? Whatever that is, you're being called to look directly at it. If you noticed, she's peering over her left shoulder. It's like, it's almost, dare I say, flirty. So let's just be honest about how tempting it is when the self-sabotage arrives. It's so tempting and easy to just sink back into those, limiting thoughts, that negative self-talk, the self-critical talk is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Whew. Anything else, Spirit, from these cards? Okay, another message that's coming through. We have this drought card. And it's funny because I used it already, right? The messages came through that any time that you turn away from your soul's calling, your soul gifts, we have to walk through a bit of a drought, right? It's like if we're not watering the seeds of our gifts, then nothing can grow. But in this message, I'm getting a totally different message, that in this drought, in this desert, there's an opportunity for a vision quest. When you have nothing, or the perception of nothing, when nothing is growing in your garden, there's a calling there. There's an opportunity to go inward and just journey with your situation, journey with what's in front of you, even if what's in front of you is absolutely nothing. There's something here about some of you being called to go on a vision quest. Now, a lot of people, again, you've probably heard me, we've talked about vision quests before. You've probably heard me say this a couple times, actually. It's very hard to take a huge chunk of time out of your schedule to really go on a deep vision quest. And a lot of people don't have even 3 or 4 hours. But if you have even 20 minutes or 10 minutes, try to go out somewhere in nature and just listen. Just kneel in reverence, in a stance that says to the cosmos that you are open, aware, and awake to receive something from Mother Gaia, from the ancients, from your lineage. Okay, let's move on. What do we want to get? Let's get some inner child cards. What do divine feminines need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? What would be supportive to help them accept their gifts and step in their true calling? We have, it is never truly the end. Beloved, in this, everything will be okay. And it's time to celebrate. Cultivate an air of celebration today. We've been talking about celebration, play, and joy for like 2 months. It just keeps coming up in the readings. Whoops. Let's see what those are. It keeps coming up in the readings, and it's so easy because I know so many of you are incredibly tenacious and you are voracious for information, right? I know the people that are even investing their precious life force in listening to me and listening to these videos. I know that you are a divine seeker and you seek truth and freedom and sovereignty. I know that about you. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. And so in that, I know that it's always easier to ask another question than it is to reflect back. It's always easier to point to another problem to fix than it is to reflect back. But let me tell you, it's time to pause. It's time to celebrate. You have worked so hard to get where you are, and I don't give a crap what it looks like in 3D, and you shouldn't either. Only you, oh, I'm going to get emotional. Hold on. Only you know how far you've come in the inside of your heart. Only you know how hard you've worked to get here. I am so deeply with you as I say these words. That's why I'm so moved by them, because no one holds your whole journey like you do. And I'm just here to create a little sacred space to honor how far we've all come. We have flow with the rhythm, get lost in movement today. It's interesting, this came up in the other reading. It says, write a letter to your inner child. And then you are enough. You do not have to give more. And it says, do what you need to do. It may be difficult, but now is the time. There is such a reclamation in this reading. There is such an acknowledgement. And look at all these beautiful queens on the bottom row. Wait, I'm covering them up and they're so beautiful. Hold on. There's so much power here. I'm just deeply moved by it. I didn't think I'd be crying this much, but wow. Let's see what else we can get. What else do divine feminines need to know about celebration? What would help them recognize their worth? We have home. So maybe it's time to, we have career. You know, the home really stands out for me because I think so many of us beautiful wounded healers like to be as naked as we can be. And by naked, I mean raw. I think it's where our gifts lie, in the rawness, and to be able to access this level of vulnerability for as long as we do as wounded healers, I think we have to have a very solid grounding, a solid home space. So if it resonates for you, I invite you to feel into, does your home or your intimate space need some caretaking? Where can you, clean up shop a little bit? Where can you organize things that would make your internal, mental, physical, spiritual world a little bit calmer by reflecting a calm external environment? We also have a commitment. Excuse me. Also, I'm gonna put my mama back. We need my mama. She's my little mother Gaia elder, my grandma. Anything else? Yeah, feminines, it's like we are so committed to this work. It doesn't matter how many wounds we have or how many swords in the back we have or in our hearts that we've dealt with. There's something so delicious about your love. There's something so profound about the love that shows up in the face of all this adversity. And there's a message here about it's time that you actually enjoy this love that you've worked so hard to cultivate. We have boundaries and we also have clarity. Yeah. Again, there is a reclamation of something. It's funny because we actually have freedom in the unconscious. There is a reclamation of something, taking back your home space. It's more than tangible home. I'm feeling that it is, you are reclaiming your home frequency. You are creating solid boundaries. You have such pristine clarity. Third eye is wide open. Didn't I say this message actually in the very beginning, that we have open discernment, that this group of feminines has pristine discernment over what is blocking their path, what is on their path, what they get to take accountability for? There is such clarity around what you need to draw boundaries around so that you can maintain this core home frequency. And I'm actually, Beautiful message coming through is that the scales have tipped and we are now more committed to the maintenance of our core frequency than we are anything else. It doesn't matter if career is involved or home life. There's a wholeness integrating. Divine feminines are dropping into even deeper wholeness and really taking up the space, really filling out the throne and being able to move from the throne, whether they have to leave their throne temporarily or they're seated solid on their throne. It doesn't matter. You carry this core regal royal frequency within you. What a beautiful message. This is such a badass reading. I mean, there's just so much power. There's so much power in this reading. This is wild. For weeks now, we've been getting some form of a grounding card in the unconscious. So again, if some of you are feeling a little, let's just be honest. I think the majority of people, especially in the modern world, are dysregulated. I think the way our natural systems are plugged into, just forget the modern life and city life and things like that. Just the fact that most of us are attached to our phones, and when someone emails, they're expecting a response right then, and there's so much immediacy, right? There's all these illusions of urgency. And so, wait, why am I telling you this? The grounding. Oh, that's what I was saying. Most of us are dysregulated to some degree. So I always recommend to people to discover grounding rituals that work for you, or exercises that stimulate your vagus nerve. There's a million of them. You can Google them. Find what works for you and then schedule it. Do these things once or twice a day so you don't have to wait until you're flooded, till your system is so overloaded that you don't even remember or have the wherewithal to make those discernments. I would just schedule them. It feels really good. I do a lot of body shaking and tremoring. That really works for me. But even just walking down the street, and I pick up energy from people's conversations, and we just are such sponges for this stuff. So it's really important that you schedule time to ground. Okay, and then we also have this sacred temple in the unconscious. This came up in a recent reading. It was a primary position. That's interesting, actually, that it's coming up in this reading. So yeah, for some of you who are not carving out your sacred space, there's some of you who are not claiming what you need to do the sacred things that you do. That's just a really brief message. I'm going to leave it there. And then, all right, this is a tough message for some feminines, and I'm actually going to put it together with this freedom in the unconscious card. Note, it's a woman in a cage, quite literally. And then we have this open your heart to love in reverse in the unconscious. It says absent, resentment, stubbornness, independent. Okay, let's just get really nitty gritty and honest about this stuff. We could heal something 100 times. And that fire of that experience, of that, I don't know, maybe it's anger, maybe it's rage, maybe it's grief, that can come back like a blazing fire again and again after we thought we've healed it. So there's something here about some of you, if there's any stickiness left in your system, if you're harboring any resentment over maybe someone's absence. This could be inner child with parent stuff. This could be a partner. This could be a very, new thing, like if someone ghosted you, whether that's a partner or even a friend or a job, or there's something here about letting go of the attachment to these things needing to be resolved. So your ability to step into your power, your ability to love yourself is not contingent on you solving these mysteries. I'm going to say that again because it's really, really important. Because there's a flavor of stubbornness in it. There's the like, I'm not going to let anyone get near me until I understand why, this person hurt me, or my old boss treated me that way. You have to honor that you may never get these answers, and you have to learn to sink back into the mystery and let the divine take on these burdens, to gift these things back to the quantum field. So again, I'm going to say a version of it again, that your ability to recognize your own worthiness and your own love, self-love, is not contingent on you solving these things. Your self-worth, your empowerment gets to arrive, and you get to experience the full power and the longitude and latitude of your soul on fire in the best of ways, while these things remain unsolved. You're allowed to coexist with these unsolved mysteries. I'm sorry, my mouth is very slow today. I'm recording this late because I have family stuff tomorrow. So forgive my mouth today. It's like it's not keeping up. Okay, what else we got? Let's see. I don't know why I'm clapping. That's interesting. Maybe Spirit just wants to celebrate all of you. So yeah, let's just do a round of applause. That's so random. Oh my God. All right, let's get some of these. Anything else for Divine Feminines? Anything else? Okay, we have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold, and answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? It's funny, in the unconscious, we have Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many other ways I can say it. There's some of you that are not stepping into your calling. Like, I rather have you tell me you're not stepping into your calling and that you're afraid than just pretending you don't have one. I'd rather hear that you're suffering, or that you can't figure this out, or that you're banging your head against the wall, than you telling me that you don't have any soul gifts. That is nonsense. Calling you out, because it's just not true. Every soul that is here has unique gifts. There's something that only you can do with your flavor of this gift, of this love. Okay. What else should we get? Let's get one of these bigger cards. Okay. These are the Spirit messages. Okay, Spirit, anything else for Divine Feminines? They've worked so hard to get where they are. They've worked through pain and grief and sorrow and divine rage. They've gone through many droughts and many moments. Here we go. We have listen. You have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention, not to just what's being said, but to what lies beneath the words. Sorry, I just needed to let that breathe for a moment. This is such a clear message, Divine Feminines, that you're being called to listen inward, to listen to the faint whispers of your soul. When you invoke these things, when you invoke the divine invokes you. It's a tandem, symbiotic relationship. You cannot have one without the other. So you better believe, if you start listening to the quantum field, you're going to get a message. And then whatever you do next, is the quantum field is starting to listen to you. It's this really beautiful flow. Oh my God. You can't make this up. I just got hello from heaven. Like, really? Hello from heaven. It says, your loved ones in the spirit world want to connect with you as much as you want to connect with them. They know you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols to show you how much they love you and to prove they're with you at this time. Oh, God, I got full body chills, and I kind of want to cry really hard because I think I mentioned in another reading that I've been grieving my grandmother. It was just her anniversary of her death, but it was 12 years ago, and it's just wild how grief just, it's like a fire that never really goes down. So honoring some of you who have lost people that you love dearly. Okay, we have a bunch. I'm not going to read all of these. Let's see. We have hope. We have inspire passion, stay connected, have fun, and self-love. Let's read self-love. Now is the time to love, nurture, and heal yourself. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good. It's a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support your body, mind, and soul. And then in the unconscious, we actually have intuitive nudges. This is such like a weird, magical reading. I'm feeling very tingly. I'm going to say this, and I don't know if it's going to mean anything to any of you, but this feels like a very 5D reading. And what I mean by that, my experience of it, is that when you're really, let me speak for myself. When I'm very dialed into the quantum field, it feels physically for me like effervescent bubbles, like seltzer bubbles or soda bubbles under my skin. That's maybe, I think that's just a me thing, but regardless, it just feels like all the synapses are firing, and there's almost a playfulness in how the energy moves. It's like a bunch of little kids, running through a playground or something, or such a specific visual, but I got a visual of a fairy like flying through a bunch of kids and like sprinkling fairy dust on all of them. That's weird because I have zero connection to fairies, like none at all. It's funny. I've even seen a ton of fairy oracle decks, and I'm just not attracted to them for some reason. All right, let's end. We don't have very much time. Let me try to get a twin flame card. Let's just end on one twin flame card for Divine Feminines. What do they need to know? We have harmonize, let your light shine. And we also have Queen, Divine Feminine. Yep, you guys are being called to your throne. That's it. I'm going to leave it right there. It's perfect. Sending you so much love. I'll see you in the next one.